In Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars, Padme gives us a very secret message. A message that people have been debating since the movie came out in 2002, and one which I will explain to you right after this. Hey everybody, I am Taylor from Beard vs. Geek, where I show you it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. Today we are going into a galaxy far, far away and talking about Star Wars, The Clone Wars. One of those 3 movies that Star Wars fans do not really like to talk about. Ever since watching the movie in 2002, one part of the movie has really always bugged me. And I thought it was telling me something, but I, for the life of me, did not know what it said until fairly recently, which is actually kind of embarrassing. At the end of Star Wars The Clone Wars, we finally get to see the beginning of the Clone Wars. The part that I actually wanted to see, not the I hate sand part. During the Battle of Geonosis, Padme fell out of a transport craft, and instead of dying, which is what people normally do, instead she hits the sand gently and rolls down a hill. When she rolls down a hill, she leaves behind a message. Well, really, the visual effects people leave behind a message, since she was really sitting on a giant blue floor. Now, giant blue floors are rather common in the more modern Star Wars films. For example, pretty much everything about the Battle of Geonosis, except for a couple of small parts, is all done on blue screen, which is the same as green screen, except instead of green, they use the color blue. Animators, being the interesting people that they are, love putting little clues into their work. This is very common in the Disney franchise with the symbol A113, which indicates the room in the California Institute of the Arts where many animators learned their craft. And like putting it in is a little homage or a little, clue for other animators. Well, in Star Wars, George Lucas has his own little Easter eggs that he likes putting in there. Or at least that he tells other people to put it in there. I highly doubt that George Lucas really spent hours and hours in front of a computer actually making this stuff. Well, similar to that, George Lucas likes leaving behind his little Easter eggs in every single one of his Star Wars movies. For example, a common one is the line, "I have a bad feeling about this," which is said in every single movie. But another thing are the numbers 1138. 1138 is a callback to his 1971 movie THX 1138. That is actually a very interesting sci-fi film. It's okay, but go watch it if you have some spare time. For example, in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, 1138 can be seen on the back of the droid that Jar Jar pushes over because he's a pansy, and it is again spotted in this movie. Now, George Lucas says that the official 1138 is on the back of a clone trooper helmet, but if looking at the sand that Padme is on, we can see 113, and we can kind of make out an 8. So I'm going to call it 1138 Easter egg number 2 that George Lucas didn't even know about. Now, there is another Easter egg in here as well. One that a lot of people are not going to really see until I point it out to you. Do you remember the California Institute of the Arts Easter egg? A113? That is also in this scene. If you look at it, look at the position of Padme, and that is the image that the animator was looking at when creating all of the sands and the markings in the sand. Now, if you look at her body, minus the arms, it's very similar to a capital A. And the 3 numbers that are most distinguishable, 113, could indicate that the animator working on this scene also went to California Institute of the Arts for putting in A113 and tacking on a little 8 as well, not only an Easter egg for the California of the Arts people and for our Star Wars fans, but for George Lucas himself. Let me know what you think about this Easter egg in the comment sections down below, and if this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos are coming out every week where I talk to you about how it's okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. For some more Star Wars, you can click right here, and I also want to thank the patrons who make this all possible. For more information about that, you can click right here. Or right here for some awesome manliness and geekiness. Because after all, if the women don't find you manly, they should at least find you geeky. And until next time, beard on, bro.